It's been a week since the start of Phase 2. Government's targets have been fairly fluid over the last few months. They are hoping that they will vaccinate 13 million people by mid-November. Let's explore the implications of that target. I'm joined now by Michael Marillier. Hi there, Mike. So it's really great to see more and more people getting the vaccine, and it seems that the numbers are starting to ramp up now. But we've got to ramp up so quickly, haven't we?
Yeah, absolutely, Sally. It's not unusual to see a slow start with these vaccine rollouts, but the key thing is you have to have the systems in place in order to up those numbers really, really quickly and really, really consistently. So you've got to chase that target quite aggressively if you really want to get to that so-called population immunity that the experts are always telling us about. So let's focus very quickly, Sally, on this chase that South Africa has when it comes to the vaccine and getting those doses into shoulders. We're going to take a look at the first week of Phase 2, as you mentioned, Sally. And we'll start with the number on the 16th of May. So that really tells you where we were in terms of the eNCA trial. Remember, that was the trial that was conducted for health workers. Around about 480,000 healthcare workers had a jab by the 16th of May. 2 days later, after that mass vaccination starts, Sally, we're at about 520,000. Another 2 days after that, we're at nearly 600,000. So you can see the trend going in the right direction. And the latest figure, the 23rd of May, really close to 650,000, in fact, Sally. So it's nice to see that line going up for once, because it did seem to level out for quite a while as we were waiting for those vaccines to arrive in the country. But let's put these figures in perspective, Sally. The past week we've had just under 170,000 doses administered in the first week of Phase 2. That translates to an average of around about 24,000 doses administered per day for the past week. Now that sounds good, it's a move in the right direction, but remember, Sally, that target of 13.3 million doses over the course of 6 months. That's what government committed to a few weeks ago. We'll have to see if that figure changes, but if it sticks to that target, Sally, it will have to administer 74,000 doses per day, every day, for 6 months, and that seems right now like a tall order. The key thing will be whether or not it can ramp up what it's already doing.
Yeah, and also there's another target that government has set itself, and that, of course, is to vaccinate some 5 million people over the age of 60 by the end of June, which is an even steeper daily rate. And, of course, the government has said that when it's really firing on all cylinders, 250,000 people a day could be vaccinated, but some really interesting lessons from the United Kingdom on how to get it right. Tell us more.
Yeah, absolutely. Just in terms of that number for the end of June, Sally, in terms of getting 5 million over 60s vaccinated, it needs to average about 125,000 people per day. So it needs to be 5 times what it was in the first week of Phase 2. But if it gets it right, well, then we'll have to applaud them. Let's take a look at the UK in the meantime, Sally. Not very good at rugby, but quite good at vaccination. Here's the 7-day rolling average. We're going to look at January through to May and take a look at how they ramp things up, Sally. So on the 17th of January, around about 260,000 people in the UK getting a dose of the vaccine. A month later, it's up to 423,000. A month after that, Sally, it's at 602,000. So in other words, it more than doubled in terms of daily doses over the course of just 2 months. It starts to taper off, Sally, in April, around about 500,000. But at that stage, they had pretty much taken care of most of the elderly population. And then if we get a quick update in terms of May, 535,000. That's the latest figure. And that, Sally, again, is in a single day. So the key lesson from there is they did start relatively slowly, a few thousand doses per day at the beginning of December, but then they were able to ramp it up in January through to February and March.
Yeah, it still took them a few months, though, to double their rate. So
Indeed.
we've got to move really, really quickly. Michael Marillier, thank you so much. You're really good with telling us all about the jabs, but the jibe against English rugby was not lost on me, and it has left some of our viewers stinging, I am sure.
Well, when they win a World Cup, Sally, then they can come back to me. But until then, I stand by my statement.
Thank you very much, Michael Marillier.